Sister Rodari's theme is, what explains the various racial characteristics? And it's taken from the Reasoning book, page 302, paragraph 2 to 303, paragraph 2. And her setting this number is witnessing and a waiting. And from a witnessing and a waiting.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm okay. Just been waiting in this waiting room with all these people for almost 30 minutes. It's driving me nuts.
Yeah, sometimes the wait here can be long, but Dr. Smith is such a good doctor, I think most of us just feel like he's worth it.
Oh, yes, he is. I agree with you 100% with that one. But, you know, I guess that's why I just grin and bear it.
Well, there you go. That's a good way to deal with it.
Yeah. You know, sitting in here though, looking around, I just can't believe how many different races there are. I mean, it kind of makes you wonder how each one of us could look so different from one another. You know what I mean? Like, God maybe made each race separately or something.
You know, I do know what you mean. I'm sorry, but I didn't get your name.
I'm Rita.
Rita, very nice to meet you. My name is Serenity.
Nice to meet you as well.
Thank you. Well, Rita, you bring up a very common question that most people do wonder about. Do you mind if I share with you a couple of facts that I researched on this exact subject?
Really? Oh, okay, that would be all right.
Okay. Well, according to a group of scientists that were gathered together by UNESCO, which is an educational, scientific, and cultural organization, all men living today belong to a single species called Homo sapiens, or humans. And the biological variations that we see today between human beings are due to differences in their hereditary makeup and due to the influence of the environment that surrounds them.
So you're saying that we're all pretty much the same?
Well, yes, in a sense. In fact, there's an author by the name of Hampton Carson, and he noted in his book, Heredity and Human Life, that, and I quote, "The paradox which faces us is that each group of humans appears to be externally different, yet underneath these differences there's fundamental similarity."
Wow, that's really interesting. But you know, a lot of people write books based on their opinions. How do we really know what to believe?
You know, I couldn't agree more with you, Rita, but there is one special book that was written for us that we can all believe in. Any idea what that book might be?
Well, I don't get to read it much, but the only book I believe in is the Bible.
Well, you are one very smart woman. That's the book that I trust above all others as well. Since we're still waiting, let me share with you some scriptures that will help us to understand and accept that our external characteristics, such as skin color, hair texture, and even our facial features, must stem from something other than a separate origination, as some believe.
That would be great. Okay.
Okay, great. Well, let's first turn to Genesis 3:20. And I always have my Bible on me, so I'll turn there.
Okay.
That's Genesis 3:20. And if you don't mind, Rita, would you like to read that for us?
Sure. After this, Adam called his wife's name Eve, because she had to become the mother of everyone living. Okay. Well, it says there we all have the same mother, which would be Eve.
Yes, it did. Now, another scripture which proves that this is true for the entire world is found in the book of Acts. And I'll read just the first part for us. It's in Acts 17, verse 26.
I want to keep note of that.
Yeah, that's Acts 17:26. And it says, "And he made out of one man every nation of men to dwell upon the entire surface of the earth."
Oh my. That mentions there that every nation upon the entire earth came from one man.
Yes, it did. And what we come to find is that early in human history, when a group of people were isolated from others and married within the group, certain distinctive combinations of genetic traits were emphasized in their offspring. And just like in the waiting room, we see these different traits today all around us.
Yes, we do. You've really given me a lot of information and a lot to think about.
Well, I'm glad. And you know what? There are so many more facts and scriptures that we can look up together, maybe at a later date to learn more about this subject. How does that sound?
That sounds wonderful. You know, Serenity, I'm so glad that I met you this morning. Tell you what, let me give you my phone number so that you can keep in touch with me. Would that be okay?
Sure, I would love that.
And thank you, Sister Reed, for assisting her. Sister Rodardi, you did such a nice job. Just heard a few claps back there. You did a very nice job. Really enjoyed it. What I really appreciated was the use of Scripture. You quoted a scholar. She said, everybody have their opinions. But then you took it to the Scriptures. And this is key, this is important. Our ministry school book helps us to appreciate this. On page 153, Scriptures correctly applied. You use Genesis 3:20 and also Acts 17:26. It helped us to appreciate how all of us came about. And so that kind of ended any thoughts of your opinion. This was directly from the Bible, and she appreciated that. And so it helps us to appreciate on paragraph 2. Well, actually in the learning box, this, what do you need to do? It says, make sure that any application of a scripture is in harmony with the context and with the Bible as a whole. The application should be in harmony with what has been published by the faithful and discreet slave. And so those scriptures that you use were correctly applied in order to appreciate how all mankind came about. And you helped her to reason on the scriptures. And so that's very important. We as witnesses, that's what we want to do. We want to use the scriptures in an informal setting. A lot of scriptures come to mind that we may like, but they may not be appropriate. But you use the appropriate ones. And that's important that we do that. So I want to encourage you to keep up the good work. Again, thank you very much. Now our last student, number 3, is Brother Freeman, Wesley Freeman.